Greetings and salutations and welcome to Illegitimate Legends. I'm your host Artima, who now has over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all very much. To celebrate, we are taking a look at AP Gangplank. This is actually the first ever Illegitimate Legends build I came up with, and the first ever build that I showed. I actually developed the AP Gangplank build from first principles over 3 years ago, and have been playing it relatively consistently ever since. I'm a little bit sad that it keeps getting nerfed into the ground, but even then it is still an incredibly powerful build, and I think I can claim credit to being one of the first to use it. So, let's take a look at Gangplank's skill set and explain just why statistically AP Gangplank works. Gangplank's Q ability is Parlay. Gangplank takes aim and shoots an enemy with his pistol. It deals damage. If he deals a killing blow with Parlay, he gets bonus gold, and half the mana cost is refunded. The thing about Parlay that you might not know is that Parlay actually has two components, the spell cast and the spell hit. So, the spell is cast actually on that audible clicking sound. I know this as a fact because there are times when you'll be using Parlay on, say, a minion that's about to die, and it will die, but you haven't fired your shot yet, and yet you still have the glow on your hands. That is because the spell cast has occurred, you just never actually got to fire the bullet. Because of this multi-component aspect of Parlay, you can fire a shot and then have the Lichbane effect ready on your hands, and then as the shot impacts, the Lichbane detonates on them. This means that you can add a 75% AP ratio to your Parlay. Considering the fact that your Parlay is off cooldown almost exactly the same time as your Lichbane is, you've basically added an AP ratio to an ability that doesn't already have one. I cannot stress how useful this is and why that's the core of the AP Gangplank build. It means that AP Gangplank can do damage consistently. Not necessarily as his basic attacks like a traditional Gangplank build would do, but every Parlay is still going to hit really freaking hard. It's just going to be magic damage instead of physical. Gangplank's W ability is possibly one of the most useful abilities in the entire game. Hence, its relatively long cooldown. Remove Scurvy. Consumes a large quantity of citrus fruit, which clears any crowd control effects on Gangplank, as well as healing him. The heal is 360 health plus a 1-to-1 AP ratio, and it only costs 65 mana. A heal, combined with a cleanse, with a 1-to-1 AP ratio, and relatively low mana cost. Remove Scurvy is a borderline overpowered ability, and it will get you out of anything. Rammus Taunt, yeah, that's nothing. Fiddlestick Sphere, it's just gone. Malzahar's ult, which is a suppress, cleared like it never even happened. And with that 1-to-1 AP ratio, you can heal in the magnitudes of half your health or more with Remove Scurvy. Granted, like I said, a relatively long cooldown. But at the same time, you shouldn't need to use it all that often, and you have to have a way to die, otherwise you're just cheating. Gangplank's E ability, while not entirely important for a AP Gangplank build, is actually very, very useful. It increases Gangplank's attack damage and movement speed passively, while when activated, adding to that bonus, as well as allowing allied champions to benefit from it as well. Like I said, not hugely useful, but that movement speed passive and the movement speed active can help you in a team fight, and getting that extra Lichbane proc, which you can then apply on a sword strike, very, very useful. Finally, Gangplank's ultimate, which is heavily underrated. Gangplank signals his ship to fire on a target area for 6 seconds, slowing enemies and dealing damage in random locations within the area. The slow is the full area, and it's a 25% slow at all levels. It's not huge, but it will slow enemies, and you can allow for some escapes that you wouldn't normally get, both for yourself and your teammates. But much more importantly, throughout the entire game, once you hit level 6, you can be an assist in every single team fight, even if you're not there. Heck, even just a small gank can be turned around by dropping the cannonballs on an area. And the reason this ult is underrated is the damage. 75, level 1. 120, level 2. 165, level 3. That's not a lot of damage. But that's per cannonball. Each cannonball that hits the target will deal 165 magic damage, plus 20% of your AP. With this build, you will end with approximately 800 AP. So, you're dealing over 300 damage per cannonball. That is a lot of damage, considering that that can apply probably 20 times on the same person with a little bit of luck. Cannon Barrage is possibly the biggest luck element in the entire game. If it plays in your favor, it will almost instantly end a team fight. If it doesn't, you won't do a single check of damage. It's hard to say whether or not this is an overpowered ability because of that, but massive amounts of damage can be dealt with Cannon Barrage, and it should never be underestimated. The build for AP Gangplank is simple. Build AP. I recommend starting with a Sapphire Crystal and 2 health potions, on your first return to base buying a Sheen and Boots of Speed, and then your first priority being getting your Lichbane and your second tier of shoes. After there, the choice is up to you, but get AP regardless of where you're going. AP items that you must have are Rabadon's Death Cap, and items that I highly recommend are Deathfire Grasp, Ryleigh's Crystal Scepter, and Zhonya's Hourglass. However, other items that are quite good and very beneficial to an AP Gangplank build are the Void Staff, a Rod of Ages, and the Archangel Staff. As per usual, I will let you make up the build mostly for yourself, but that is simply my recommendation. As for how to play AP Gangplank, it's really, really simple. Get your Parlay first, and farm like there is no tomorrow. Maybe consider poking, but if you're missing out on farm because you're poking the enemy team, you're doing it wrong. You have to farm massively, because this build benefits from getting a lot of AP, and getting a lot of AP is very, very expensive. You can do this build in any lane. Unfortunately, it can't jungle, but regardless of where you are, you need to be farming really, really hard. I cannot stress this enough. Your second ability should be your Cure Scurvy, because you're going to need to heal. Expect to take a lot of pressure in your lane. Don't deal much in return, just fall back and farm and heal, and you'll have no worries at this point. You can't be tower dived, because any time they poke you, you're just going to heal it back. Other than that, farm, farm, farm. Rush into that late game. Once you've got to level 6, use your ultimate to help assist other teammates trying to get kills. You might not get so many kills in your lane, but getting a few assists can actually put you on top of your lane, simply because the enemy haven't been able to kill you as much as they want. That means that you're beating your lane partner when you head into the mid and late game, when you're strongest. In team fights, drop your ult, circle the team fight and rain cannonballs on it, death and despair everywhere. Q whoever's on low health, dealing damage. Buff your allies with your E, and heal yourself of any serious injury or crowd control with your W. Avoid dying, skirt around the team fight where you can, and just constantly burst down anyone who you think that you can. That is AP Gangplank in a nutshell. It's a very simple build, but it can be remarkably effective. Thank you all for watching this Illegitimate Legends build, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Hopefully, I will see you all at 5,000 subscribers. Until then, thank you and good night. Oh, and stay until after this video. I've got a little something extra planned for this one. Are you ready, team?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh, who's king of the pirates and champ of the league?
AP Gangplank!
Who's got a lich bane and be shooting at ye?
AP Gangplank!
If healing with citrus be something you wish,
AP Gangplank!
then grab a death cap and ult just like this!
AP Gangplank!
Ready? AP Gangplank! AP Gangplank! AP Gangplank! AP Gangplank!